and we have sexologist Dr. Trina Read with us this morning. But this is truly
Look who I found.
the star of the show.
Yeah.
This is Evan, and Trina, he is beautiful. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah,
Hey, Evan.
his name is Evan. He's 7 weeks old.
Is this his TV debut?
Yes, it is.
There he is, Evan.
Yeah.
He is sharp and ready to play ball.
He's thinking, is it serious? Did we come here so Mom could talk about sex? Because I'm not comfortable with this topic.
I'm just waiting for him to puke all over you, Dave. I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting for this to happen. Gosh.
We've got many plans in place if that happens. Dave will be fine. So let's talk about sex. Can you even go there in your mind yet? 7 weeks after Evan's been born.
As soon as you said
See?
sex,
I know it's an uncomfortable
saying,
topic for
"Please."
some, Evan.
my job, if let this get, you guys talk, and if he gets loud, I'm going to wander off.
Okay.
All right.
Dave's the baby whisperer.
Yeah. All right.
I think 6 weeks postpartum. You're free and clear to have sex. But I think mentally you have to be ready too. So your body's healed, but mentally you have to be ready. And I remember with my first child, who's now 26 months, I was so gobsmacked with everything that was going on, overwhelmed and exhausted and everything. Like, it's not that I didn't want sex, but it was like, what the heck's going on here? So I think things have to settle down, and you have to be ready for it. But that's being said, I think if you don't make an effort and you just leave it, and 6 months has gone by and you haven't had sex, there's that awkward period between you and your partner, and the longer you leave it, the more awkward it's going to get. So even though you have to be mentally and physically ready to have sex, you've also got to make an effort after a time frame, because I've talked to many women who after a year they're saying, I don't know if I want sex now. But,
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So it can really make or break your sex life moving forward. So how do you have that conversation? How do you get her started? How do you kickstart that train again?
Well, the whole, usually it's been at least a couple months. In your last trimester, not too many women want to have sex especially when you're out to here. So it's just a matter, hopefully before the baby's born. I know this is I don't think most people have this conversation before the baby's born to say, you know what, after baby's born, it's, when are we going to resume sex? But I think it's just a matter of after the baby's born, and you want to make an effort. A couple months have gone by, 2 or 3 months have gone by. It's just a matter of getting back on that horse and just doing it. I don't know if you can have a conversation, and the conversation is good, but sometimes action is even better in this kind of situation, because that whole awkward initiation, how do we initiate sex, it's always hanging between the two of you.
And is it okay to say it's not going to be the best sex we've ever had?
No,
but
and it probably won't be.
It probably won't be.
It'll probably be just on the lower scale of what is adequate with sex, because you're going in between exhaustion and baby's naps, and is the baby crying, and you've got all this stuff on it's probably not going to be great sex, but it is important to have. It is important, and you're going, yeah.
Oh,
right,
well,
yeah.
I've been there. Obviously, you're there. The pitfalls that we typically fall into, is it the excuses that come up?
Well, excuses definitely are there, but I would say the top 3 things that can be pitfalls for couples. First, no communication around, hey, you know what, for the next year, things are going to be crazy, and we have to make an effort, but there's no communication about what's going to happen. Second, there's unspoken expectations about, I need help with the laundry, you want to have sex after 2 months. There's no communication about these expectations that we have, and because we don't talk about what we expect from our partner, we get all angry about it. And I think the third one is a lack of appreciation. Everybody's working really hard. The mom's working hard, the dad is working hard, but we don't appreciate how hard either is working, and then we start feeling resentful. So it's not, so getting back into a sexual rhythm is a lot more difficult when there's that barrier of resentment and unhappiness and anxiety between the two of you. It's really hard to reinitiate things. So you got to communicate. You got to once in a while say, I really appreciate what you're doing. And if you have a big expectation about being helped with the chores, or having sex after 2 or 3 months, or whatever your expectation is, you've got to talk about it, because it's just going to fester if you don't.
Yeah, any marriage, any relationship, this is a stressful time.
Very
Sex
stressful.
aside,
Yeah.
this is a stressful time
Huge.
for a relationship when you're working for it. How you doing, Dave?
Oh, here's
He's doing very well. He's doing very well. Now, I know that you love talking about sex, especially when your mom's watching, Trina.
My mom is watching. Okay, I don't know if I want to talk about
Hey,
But I
Mom,
have to bring
how's
this
the show
up.
going so far?
I have
Good?
to bring this up because this caught my attention. You've issued a 6-month sex challenge to yourself. You're blogging about it.
I'm blogging about it.
What's it all about?
Well, for the next, with my first child, I had a heck of a time getting sex back on course. And that was with me making a concerted effort with the flus and lack of sleeping and everything else that was going on. I was trying to have sex. And, inevitably it would just blow up in my face. And so this time around, at least once a week for the next 6 months, I'm going to be attempting to have sex, but not just any sex. I'll be attempting to do something different every single week. And what's fun about this sex is once a week it's going to be all about me. Oh, I can't wait for that. And that's going to be next week. And then, actually, it's going to be this week. It's going to be all about me this week. And the alternative week, it's going to be all about my husband. And then I'm going to honestly blog about it. And I put my first blog up just yesterday. Okay. So you can go on my website, trinaread.com, if you want to follow my progress.
Well,
Is Mom going to follow that?
Oh, gosh.
Mom will be giving you feedback, I'm sure.
I can't wait till I go home. And we're going to talk about this now. Yeah.
Okay, you don't have to give me too many details, but you have Evan and you have your other little boy.
Yeah.
So my first thing is child management. You need time for you and your husband to be alone and together. So is it always going to be nighttime, or is it going to be?
What I figured out from this last week, I was initiating it. Last week was my week number 1, and I thought, oh, time. I am so good with time. And time has never been my issue. Boy, we never ended up doing anything this week because I didn't have the time. The time just went through my fingers, and yeah. So the whole time issue, I think it's just a matter of just doing it when the moment hits. Otherwise, I guess I'll be figuring. The thing about this challenge is I'm going to be figuring things out as I go along.
Yeah.
And that's like it's going to either be, this challenge is either going to be a brilliant or it's going to be an absolute bust, and I haven't figured out what to.
And you have to take it easy on yourself too, right? Because we put so much expectations on ourselves and pressure on ourselves, and I guess and our partners need to help too in that area.
It's especially after baby, and I think this is one of the things I was talking about with the pitfalls of communication. It really needs to be a partnership, and when there's these unspoken expectations about I need your help, I need you, and when that's not being communicated, the partnership starts to get a wedge between it, and that's when it's not just sex, it's the intimacy. And somebody said to me, it's not the sex that goes missing for the first year or two with baby, it's the friendship that goes missing between a partnership, and that's really what can make or break the sex. Because if you can't be friends with your partner, how are you going to have sex with them? Really, how would you want to have sex with them? Yeah, so I think that's the biggest deal. Is you have to be a team effort, and you have to communicate how you're going to manage this baby and manage the time and manage everything else that's going on in your life.
All right. Well, thank you for sharing this with us. We're
You're
going to be
welcome.
reading your blog and
I hope
staying
so.
up to
I
date.
hope so.
Thank you for bringing Evan in. It was a
Oh.
pleasure to meet him. Dave, good job.
Thank
Good job,
you.
Dave. Good
Good
job.
job. You're a
Cheers, Evan.
natural. You should have a couple of those, hey?
Triplets.
Yeah. Check out Dr. Trina Read's blog. It's on our website, breakfasttelevision.ca.